Hey everybody, it's Andy Graves, and I'm here today to talk to you about my wonderful, lovely lace ponchette that's in this issue of Crochet Magazine. Um, Here we go, the lace ponchette. And I start this with my Stacked Rose foundation, which is one of my favorite foundations to use to create a stretchy foundation for a garment. So let me take you down. If you get dizzy easy, close your eyes while I move the camera. Let me move it here. Hopefully. Now I'm going to really try to keep my hands. Oh dear, I bet you guys can't hear me. Okay, there, that's probably better. All right, let's see if I can make sure to keep my hands in the picture this time. I'm going to move this piece of paper now because I've got white yarn. So I'm using a little bit bigger yarn than what you guys saw in the magazine for the garment because I wanted you to be able to clearly see how I do the Stacked Rose foundation. Now you start with a slip knot, and I tend to use my favorite, which is the adjustable slip knot, which just means that if I pull, I make the loop that goes on my hook with my beginning tail, so that when I put it on my hook, instead of pulling the working yarn, I pull the tail in to snug it up, and that way if I need to adjust my stitch at the beginning, it's easy enough to do. So I chain 2, and then I go into the second chain from my hook, and I make a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 3, and this doesn't count as a stitch, it's just a chain 3. It's mainly there to make a decorative edge at the top of the opening for the cowl neck of this ponchette. And then I turn and work into the single crochet I just made previously and make a double, then yarn over twice, make a treble, and then I have finished my second row of Stacked Rose foundation. Little fuzzies here. Alright, then I'm going to chain 1 and turn and make a single crochet in the top of the treble. Now I'm just going to repeat that. Chain 3, make a double and a treble into the single crochet I made the previous row. And if you're having a hard time finding where to work, so I've completed my treble. When you chain 1, a lot of people have a difficult time with the Stacked Rose because they have a hard time finding where to go into the next stitch. So what I do is turn it so that I'm looking at the top of my stitches. That's the chain I just made, and right there is the top of the stitch I'm going to go into. So one way to think about it when you're going to make your single crochet rows is that you are working into the second stitch from the loop on your hook. So you count 1, 2. That's where I'm going to go. Sneak in, pull up a loop, and there's my single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 3, and when I turn, when you look at that, you see 1, 2, 3, 4. That fourth one is where I'm going to make my double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, and as I'm doing all that, I kind of turn the work, so instead of formally turning at the end of the row. And there's a treble crochet. And you're going to continue on in this manner to get a length of stitches, and you can see how it becomes this long length. When you get to the end, you're ending with a row that has the chain 3 double treble, and you're going to join to the bottom of your first single crochet row to create a ring that you're going to work on. So I'm going to make this a little bit longer so I can show you guys that join and how you get started working. And you can kind of see as this develops how, alright, see, I'm trying to get out of the picture again. Hang on, I'm going to bring my camera up just a teensy bit. There we go. Okay. So we've got these stacked rows. So these are just little short rows that stack on top of each other, and they create a length that's going to create the opening for the neckline of our ponchette. And let me go a little faster here so I can get some length. Here's another single crochet. And I think I got it long enough now I can show you the join. Whoops, that's a treble. I like to use the Stacked Rows foundation for a lot of my garments just because it makes a nice stretchy neckline. So you can see how you have these scallops that form because of the chain 3 and the 2 stitches. And you have the straight side. The straight side is going to be the edge you're working off of. So when you join this into a ring, you want to make sure that you don't twist this. You want it to join flat. So one of the things I do is just fold it so that the bottom of that first stitch and the top of this stitch. And then it is a case of kind of holding your mouth just right. Let's see. Whoops. Let me get my yarn behind my hook. Pull this through and make a slip stitch. And I've got a nice snug slip stitch. I've got a nice little ring here, obviously way too short. And then you're ready to start to work, and you're going to turn and you're going to be working along the tops or the sides of these rows that you just made for your foundation. I hope that helps you with the Stacked Rows foundation when you go to start your lovely lace ponchette in the winter issue of Crochet Magazine. And if you haven't gotten your issue, look for this one with the beautiful blue wrap on the front. Thanks everybody for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.